WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, let's do it, Jarom, Tanner, and Nolly.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast, a part of the Hockey Podcast Network presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What is up, bud?
It's Frozen Frenzy night, buddy. Everybody's favorite Tuesday.
The greatest idea that NHL's ever had, but leave it to them for poor execution and putting it on a goddamn Tuesday night.
I understand the not wanting to put it on a Saturday or Sunday at the moment because of college football and NFL, but Tuesday's such a random day. Why not Friday night? And
here's my response to that. Wouldn't you want to wait if that's your thing? You don't want to compete. You want the day focused. Wait till later in the season.
Well, I understand wanting to get it done earlier in the season to show that hey, this is something cool that we'll do, and get hyped because we'll do this more often throughout the season.
It's only scheduled once this year.
Which is also that's what doesn't make sense, right? That's what I'm saying.
So it's why not wait?
If you plan on doing it more times throughout the year, start it early, cool, during the week, whatever. Friday would make more sense, but whatever. And I don't know, Tuesday, man.
I would say too, do it later in the year. The reason why I say do that is also it's better hockey. I mean, you're still in that early season, teams kind of finding the groove. The first couple weeks of hockey is never good. It's ugly. I mean, there's good
no
moments
Patrick
and all
Kane.
that. Exactly. Patrick Kane needs to be part of Frozen Frenzy and whatever team he's going to end up playing for, which I think he's narrowed it down to a couple of, according to rumors. Detroit, whatever. Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. Yeah, I had this just to get way off topic, but on topic still. I had this really crazy, I guess it's kind of a fan fiction idea. Because you remember how I was saying, when Kane was, going to New York and he was oh, I'm no longer friends with DeBrincat. I'm going back on my old boo, Panarin. It's kind of now that DeBrincat is, really thriving. So it's DeBrincat gets sent off. I'm trying to remember exactly how I got this pictured in my head. But it was the bromance had been, going great. And then it's DeBrincat went off to summer school, and then Kane ended up rekindling his old flame with Panarin. But it just wasn't the same. And so now that he sees DeBrincat thriving with somebody new, he's but I want you back. And then DeBrincat's just gotta be no, babe, I've moved on. I was having such a hard time last year without you, but now that I've reconciled with what I had, I've moved on and everything's good for me now, and I don't need you anymore.
DeBrincat goes back to his hometown, finds his old middle school crush and Dylan Larkin, and
he just it's Christmas, and he's just I'm just so busy, and I don't know what to do, but everything's so great here. Maybe I should just stay. It's just a fucking Hallmark movie. And this is just, I don't know why, man, but that I was in the shower, just this is a Hallmark movie. Where
the fact that this is a shower thought too makes this even fucking funnier.
Because all I do is think about hockey.
You think about a romance between Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat while you're in the shower. Okay, let's go.
Well, it's
Hockey
Hallmark
talk.
It's literally Hallmark season for me and my wife, where it's watch the dumb fucking holiday movies. Yeah. And for I had just been seeing how DeBrincat's on fire, and I was man, this is exactly how this plays out.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
It's hey, Alex, you don't need Patrick anymore, man. You're happy with Dylan.
You're gonna go back to Patrick, who abandoned you and just threw you away.
Yeah,
Dylan, who was always there for you.
Exactly.
Oh shit, that's amazing. That is fucking hilarious.
So stupid.
God damn it. I need to see that now. Now I need someone to make the erotic fan fiction novel cover page Fabio and and DeBrincat and all that. Like, oh, that's so funny.
And it's just like Kane are coming up to DeBrincat like, he didn't mean nothing, baby. You know you're the main squeeze.
So wait, is Kane the bad guy in your fan fiction here?
Yeah.
Man, how far Kaner has fallen.
I love Patrick Kane, but this is only how this scenario works.
It's amazing.
This is what we're going to talk about this whole episode is this fan fiction.
God
the romance between DeBrincat and Larkin and Panarin's kind of in there, and Patrick Kane. It's fucking hilarious.
Kaner goes back to Panarin, and Panarin is like in his weird phase where he shaves his head. And Kaner's like, "What is going on? Like, what did I do?" And
it's not the same. It's not like how it used to be. You've really changed.
Oh God, I love your mind sometimes, Tanner. That's
it's pretty silly. It's very entertaining because, like, at that point, I'm laughing to myself in the shower just about like these thoughts. It's just like, oh God.
I can only imagine what your wife is like walking past the bathroom and just hears you laughing hysterically. Like,
yeah, right. She's just like, what an idiot.
Oh shit. But all right. Speaking of current Blackhawks, only 2 games in the last week since we recorded, and could have been better.
Yeah, it could have been better, but I mean,
could have been better. But
I don't know what we could have expected.
Playing 2 of the top dogs in the league. Thursday night, they played the Colorado Avalanche, which marked the 4 out of 5 games the Hawks played this year to start their season were home openers. So they had fucking iced out every single game almost, waiting for ceremony. And that technically 6 of 7 or 5 of 6 because their own home opener too is a long process. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I did not get a chance to watch this. I had family stuff to do for my uncle's wedding. My takeaway was they lost 4-0, and Mrazek is the only reason why it wasn't like 30-0.
Yeah, he played absolutely incredibly, and like even if with the score being 4-0, like I feel like he should have been one of the top 3 like stars of the game. He made so many great saves.
He was
the Hawks were just
41.
Yeah, the Hawks were just clearly exhausted from like this road trip to start the season. Not taking anything away from Colorado because like they do have a lot of like incredibly skilled players. It just looks that much easier for guys like Makar and McKinnon to speed around the ice when the guys that are playing are just fucking dead. You know, like it was like, oh, it's gonna be a long night.
Oh yeah.
And that's why Mrazek even looked even better, man. Like he was standing on his head. Like, it was insane. Not much to take away besides that Mrazek was just top dog.
Oh no, I think I totally messed something up on my blog. Who played goal for the Hawks on Saturday?
Soderblom. Yeah, they've been switching. They've been going every other. They've been going Pee-wees with it.
Yeah, now I sound like it. I gotta go back and fix my fucking blog because I wrote Mrazek in back-to-back starts for the first time this year.
Hey, someone's a dumb.
But anyway, yeah, Mrazek when's this guy gonna start getting some respect? Like, I know he's not putting up wins and all that, but it's like he is having a fucking fantastic season. Like 9.34 save percentage, I believe.
Well, that's because everybody is going based off of the fact he was always hurt in Carolina, so he wasn't good. If you're always hurt, you're not good, right? That's what everybody believes.
Yeah.
He went to Toronto where no goalie has basically survived, and they just blamed him for everything that was wrong, even though he also had injury issues there. And now he's in Chicago where like we're not expected to do well, where those other teams like he was brought in to do well, where he was a cap dump for us. Or, I mean, to us.
Yeah.
And I think they not having any kind of pressure and, like, when he is healthy, like, he's looked really fucking good. I say it all the time, but, like, he rarely gets beat with, like, a shot straight on that's not tipped or screened. It's pretty incredible to see that. Like, the goals that do go in are, like, goddamn, man, like there's no chance that he had that. But I think he's really good. I think he's very underrated, and people just are going to shit on him based on like the past of like just shitting on him all the time.
And he's got the fact that he's a Blackhawk right now, and the Hawks aren't good. The Hawks are not going to be winning games,
right?
And they're not going to help his case and all that. The other thing that stood out to me in this game, from just kind of looking at the box score and all that, was Bedard pointless again.
I mean, it's tough, you know. It's not juniors where you can kind of take over a game by yourself. Like, you need everybody. Plus, you're playing a team that was a Stanley Cup winner 2 years ago, and it's almost the exact same team, right? Like, they have shut down guys. Their defensive core is probably one of the best in the league, and it's tough, you know.
They were saying like all of last season, he didn't have a single back-to-back pointless night at all last year. So it's like, it's always good to see. Like, I kind of like that that's happened to him early on too. Just so he kind of experience. I know it's weird to say, but I kind of like that he's not like just coming out tearing it up. Like, I like that he's facing adversity. And he's kind of getting a taste of like, hey, this is what the league's going to be like. You're not going to be out here walking around. It's like you're eventually he's going to get to that point where it's going to become so easy to him. But I like it's going to, I don't know. I just like, it's going to make it so much sweeter when he's able to turn it around. And I don't know.
There's this like good point of that too, where there's always been these reports of him being the last one on the ice, right, for like hours, and now like there's reports of the young guys like Korchinski, Kaiser, and Reichel all staying out there with him for hours, like having to be pulled off the ice in Colorado on the practice squad or during the practices. And there's that really fine line that they have to work with where like they are pushing themselves really hard to try to get better, but you don't want them, which was mentioned like during the Colorado game, you don't want them to tire themselves out.
Right.
Like, don't be like, it's great that you want to work hard, but it's a long season. And if you start like kind of getting exhausted come February, like it's going to be a rough last like month and a half, 2 months.
And that's the thing. It's like, I love Bedard, and I love the fact that he is all in on being the best to ever play this game. He wants to make his mark on the game, and he wants people to talk about him and just discuss him being in that category. But at the same time, it's like, dude, pump the brakes. Like, take a break. Be an 18-year-old kid, you know, like enjoy yourself. You're an 18-year-old kid in the NHL.
Yep.
You've made it. Like, I know you still have a lot to do and a lot to prove, and it's like but it's like you're just going to burn yourself out, especially when you're trying to single-handedly carry this team. Spoiler, they're not going anywhere. You guys are not going to be a surprise team to make the playoffs. You're going to finish pretty low in the standings, and you're going to be a lottery pick team next year. Like, just relax, enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, like it's the fine line of working as hard as you possibly can, but like not burning yourself out.
Yeah,
like he's obviously got the drive to get better. So that's always a good thing. It's just hopefully he keeps his pace up for the whole year, you know?
Yeah, because we'll see. Never played this many games in a season, especially at this level.
Especially at this level, right?
Yeah. But hard work pays off. The next game Saturday against Vegas. What was it, like 2 minutes into it too?
A minute and a half.
First
power shot.
Play. On the power play. Bing bong. Bedard, wrist shot goal. Let's go.
It was all day he had. It felt like it, at least. Oof.
Yeah. It was great to see. I mean, I just watched the highlight of it, but it was great to see him scoring that, being that first Hawk home goal of the year. The sold out crowd, just like him feeding off the energy, like the smile on his face. Like, I don't think he smiled that big at all this year yet. And he even said after the game, he's like, my expectations for the United Center were high. And he goes, this even exceeded it. So it's like, oh God, it
That's
feels
a good
so
thing.
good. Yeah.
The fans show up to like let him know, like, we're super excited for him to be here. I mean, there's not going to be an experience as many, or there's not many experiences like it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I would love to hear how he like felt about like that first national anthem, like sold out national anthem. But did you get a chance to watch this game?
Yeah, I watched this one. It was brutal. In a sense of like the penalties throughout the entire game were just kind of insane. Like the first period, the Hawks had 4 penalties. So you kind of look at the time on ice spent with like Bedard, and he only played 17 and a half minutes because of all of this kind of special teams bullshit that they had to go through. Like, I don't know, Vegas isn't really that impressive, but it's like obviously they're better than the Blackhawks.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a little bit.
I don't know. I feel there's another thing too that, I mean, Lucas Reichel looked fucking great. He looked like, I thought he was going to score like 3-4 times this game because he looked so smooth and confident carrying the puck. It was insane. That's one of the things that it was like an advanced stat of like expected goals for, like heading into this week. And Lucas Reichel and Connor Bedard were like high on that list, where they haven't. It's a stat that basically kind of tells you that they're very unlucky.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'm sure that stat's going to turn around and they'll start putting more pucks in the net. And I can't wait for that to happen. But it's one of those nights where like I thought he was going to score so many times and it just didn't go in for him.
God, someone's got to give with those guys. And it's such a bummer that we don't have more like true centers on this team, that we can't throw those two out as a line for a little bit, you know?
Right.
Like that sucks, because I would love to see those two play together.
It would be pretty incredible, man. Watching just like the two of them bounce the puck to each other all the way up the ice. I just dance it around, guys.
Yeah, I just keep wanting them to do a photo like that they did of Kane and Taves, like their rookie year. Just the two of them together, and just so it's like boom, past, present, let's go. Yeah, I really can't. I'm sorry, I really can't contribute much just because I said I didn't see it. The other thing that happened in this one was Taylor Hall re-injured his shoulder. Yep. They placed him on the IR. Was that today they placed him on the IR or yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Yesterday. So he's out for a few weeks. How do you like? I don't know. I'm kind of torn with that. Like, I kind of wish they would have just let him rest the first time instead of like jumping right back in.
But I'm sure he probably had a lot of say in it too, like saying he's fine and wanted to go.
Was it a bad hit that he got hurt on?
I don't even know, because I don't really remember what caused it, because I thought he finished the game.
Yeah, he came. So I was reading that it was like the second period.
Yeah.
He left and then he came back for the third and he finished the game.
Yeah. I think he was, I don't remember it being that bad. Otherwise it would like really pop into my mind.
So it must have just been, he still probably just wasn't 100%. And it just.
Yeah, that's probably, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Vegas is a pretty big team too. So like, that's gotta suck.
Oh yeah, they're fucking brutal. The other thing I saw with that one was the Corey Perry goal.
Yeah, buddy. Before that though, the Reese Johnson tip.
Oh,
insane. Reese Johnson, man. I fucking love Reese Johnson. He's so awesome. But yeah, man, Corey Perry just lined up a clapper towards the end of the game and absolutely labeling it into the net. And I was like, Corey Perry's gonna fucking lead our team in points. I mean, I'm not upset about that.
No,
he's amazing. I love it.
He is currently at, oh wow, you can click on the players and it takes you to one, but you can't click the teams. 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points, -1. I mean, who would have thought he was having like this good of a year? And he's playing a lot of ice time too.
14 minutes ish.
14:09 the last game. Only 12:33 against Colorado, but 17 against Toronto, 19 against Montreal, 15 against Boston.
I mean, get him on the first line. Corey Perry, Connor Bedard.
They just moved Foligno up on that first line, or was that the same? Well, no, because Taylor Hall was played last game, so it was Foligno, Bedard, and
Corey Perry. Come on,
that would be. I would be for it. I'd be out there for it.
I just saw this today, or just now. I don't know if Kurashev's playing, but it looks like he was cleared to play. At least that's what it says on Cap Friendly.
He was in the morning skate. He was in the line rush in the morning skate today. He was on the third line. Let me pull these up again.
Also, I don't know if you saw this either, but Cole Gutman was sent down to Rockford. I think they just want him to like go dominate a little bit and then come back. Probably.
So the skates of the morning, or the line during morning skate: Foligno, Bedard, Tyler Johnson, Anthony, Reichel, Radish, Kurashev, Dickinson, Perry, Kachuk, Donato, Reese Johnson, Korchinski, Seth Jones, Vlasic, Murphy, Kaiser, and Tenorti, but Tenorti and Kaiser switch sides. So Kaiser's playing the left side now, and Tenorti's playing the right, or vice versa.
All right. Yeah.
Left side, yeah. So, and Mrazek was in the starters net, which you guys will already know by now when this comes out. So they got Boston again, and just talking about the brutal schedule too. It's like, was it Nolly that brought it up that Connor Bedard had the longest road trip to open in a season for a first overall pick since Joe Thornton, when he played like 7 games in a row on the road.
Yeah.
And then not only that, you have that long road streak or road trip to start the season. Now you're looking at the last 2 games plus the next 2 games. 5-0 Colorado, 6-0 Vegas, 5-0 Boston, 6-0 Vegas. Like, God damn, that's fucking rough.
Yeah, it's probably like the hardest schedule to start the fucking season, right? Like, oh my God. Couldn't be lucky like any, I don't know, what is it? I was looking at it earlier, like Philadelphia.
The NFL season is going strong, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking new customers up with an offer that's even stronger. Bet $5 on any game this week to score $200 instantly in bonus bets. And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game day this October. Get in on the game day greatness. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code THPN. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5 on the NFL. Let's go THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort, Kansas City. Licensing partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, Louisiana. 21 plus of age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after insurance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources.
Philly, who's like in first in their division, but they got to play like some okay teams like Columbus, Ottawa, Vancouver. They played Edmonton, who's just in shambles, and then lost to Dallas in OT.
I just hope the schedule makers are keeping note of this, so when the Blackhawks are supposed to be good again, they'd be like, you know what? Let's give them a nice start. Let's give them a nice, easy start.
Let's give them the Vegas start where they play 3 of the bottom teams in the league to start the season. Like, the fuck?
Coming up too, then like we said, Vegas, they play in Vegas on Friday, and then in Arizona on Monday. Mullet Arena, let's go.
Wait, are they're in Vegas on Friday?
I believe so.
Oh, I just realized that on the Blackhawks schedule, like through NHL.com, it doesn't show if they're at home or it does. It's that's stupid and subtle. It's outlined in red.
Oh
like
yeah,
it's like a red line for home games, but I thought it would just say like at Vegas.
I cannot stress this enough at how bad NHL.com is and the NHL app. If anybody listening has another app that you use to follow along, for stats and standings and schedules and all that, please let us know, because I don't know how much longer I can take the NHL app, and the ESPN app's not any better.
Just
at least for
hockey reference or cap friendly, please, can just come out with an app. That'd be great.
God damn. Last thing I had for Hot Stock was 3 stars of the week.
Yeah.
We want to keep this.
It's
probably should said this before.
Not very long. It's not very easy.
Said before we started recording that we're trying to keep this one nice and quick, so we can all enjoy Frozen Frenzy tonight, with every team playing. First star or third star. We always go third star first.
I mean, it's not much to go off of, but I thought Vlasic looked really good in both games. He also was a +1.
+1, yeah.
Which is pretty solid.
1833 ice time. I mean, he's putting the work in, and I think he's, like we said last week, he's the best looking defenseman out of that young core right now, I think.
I think he's been the best looking defenseman, period.
Really? Because last week you were talking about Seth Jones being amazing.
Yeah, what up? I'm allowed to change my mind.
By the way, though, since you gave your praise to Seth Jones, he went from +3 to -3 with no points in 2 games.
Whatever.
Second star. I'm gonna throw 2 names out there, and whoever's not the second star, I think it's the first star. Bedard for his first goal in the United Center, and Mrazek for just being Mrazek.
Yeah, Bedard 2, Mrazek 1.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking, at least.
I mean, honestly, it's like 1A, 1B, and then 3. Like
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, Bedard looks great. Other than just scoring the 1 goal, like it's he just looks like everything's gonna go in. It's crazy.
And that's what too. Like he was talking with I don't know if it was Laz or Scott Powers wrote something like talking to him, and he's like, he's happy with how he's playing. It's just the frustration that it's just not going his way.
Right. And he has the expectation that everything should go in.
He should have
I kind of have that feeling too, man.
He should have a 100% shooting percentage. Like, he needs to absolutely destroy. Oh, that's the other thing, Hot Stock. Monday at practice, he was working with Yannick Perreault in the face-off dot. So let's go. Hopefully that will fucking fix some shit, because Bedard, you are goddamn garbage at the face-off right now.
Hey, against Vegas, he was 50%.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I'm assuming is probably his best face-off percentage so far this
100%. Year. Yeah, 100%.
No, 50%.
No, yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah, buddy. That's what you get.
So in two games last week, his face-off percentage was 48.2. So that second game definitely helped him up. Only 2 shots on goal too through those 2 games. So I mean, he really got shut down.
Yeah, like I said though, at least in the Vegas game, there was a ton of penalties that kept him off the ice in the first period, so he didn't really do much in the first. The Colorado game, I had also mentioned, it's just their defense is pretty goddamn nasty. So, like, sure, he had, like, a couple shots actually on net, but I wonder how many attempts he actually had. Also, he was 46.67, so he was close to 50% in those 2 games, like total.
For shots?
No, not for shots.
No, what are you talking about?
For face-offs.
Oh, like we're talking about
we were talking about shots, but I was trying to find his face-off percentage during the Colorado game, so that's why I mentioned it like right away.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Speaking of, yeah, you got anything else for Hot Stock before we move on?
I mean, we just got to get through this next week.
And that's 2 games, yeah, today and Friday. Then we'll be done with Boston. No more Boston this year.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's just such a goddamn hard schedule. We got one more game against Vegas, I know, this year later in the season. But then we get Arizona, which normally it's like, yes, let's go. But they've been playing some good hockey too. Like,
hey, they have, but at least they're more our speed.
Right. Yeah, it's the same lane, but it's like they're a fun team to watch now.
It's games like that one in Columbus I'm actually looking more forward to is the rookie showcase games.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So I can't wait for that game to come around.
To see Logan Cooley, and then Fintelli. Oh God. Let's fucking go. But yeah, so all right, moving on to NHL talk. We'll keep this quick. Like I said, we're gonna do a quick episode today. Not much to talk about with 2 hot games. Which is the best undefeated team in the league?
Well, we've played all of them. And visually, I think Colorado.
You were talking before we started recording, and I told you to save it, but you think everybody's frauds, except for Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, the records are fraudulent as hell. Like Vegas, like I kind of mentioned, they have probably the easiest fucking schedule to start the season. They like their toughest game so far was Dallas, and that went to a shootout. And I mean, Dallas hasn't been like the hottest team yet, but I think they'll be still really good. Seattle hasn't been good to start this year. San Jose, Anaheim, and us are literally the 2 or 3 of the 4 bottom fucking teams from last year. Like played Winnipeg, I think Winnipeg's just a joke of a team. And it's just kind of like, oh my God, oh, cool. What a crazy record to start the year. They're 6-0. It's like, yeah, you played easy fucking teams, man. Like, whatever. You're fraudulent as hell. Boston is another one. Where the fuck is their schedule?
I think it's impressive that Vegas won 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, and then they won 3-2 in a shootout, but then it was 5-3 versus Winnipeg, 5-3 versus the Hawks. So if you don't fuck the pattern, they're going to win 5-3 against Philadelphia tonight.
Boston. Exact same scenario as Vegas. They played us to start the year. They played Nashville, who's not expected to do very much this season. Then they played San Jose, ring a fucking bell. They played LA, who's trying to figure it out to start the year too. And then they played Anaheim. What is with everybody playing Anaheim, San Jose, and Chicago? And then they're undefeated. It's not that impressive. And guess what? They play us tonight, and then they play Anaheim again on Thursday.
Oh, wait, no, what were we talking about? I was going to say, to be fair, there is Pacific Division, but then I forgot we were talking about Boston here for a second.
Yeah, we're talking about Boston.
I know. Never mind. Yeah. I don't know, they're trying to just maybe get all the trips for them done, let them focus on the East Coast the rest of the way. I have no idea. But Boston,
Colorado again. No, sorry, go ahead. I'm just
saying Boston, Boston is like their schedule's lucky. Vegas, I can buy them being good because they're a good team regardless.
They have the easiest schedule out of all 3 teams.
Right, but they're a good team, and the fact if they would have lost one of those games, I think that would have been more of a red flag than them, having an easy schedule. They do have they've had the best start to a season from a cup defending team, and I don't know how long. Like, I wish I can remember which team was this good after defending the cup. But I agree with you. I think Colorado is the true top dog in the situation right now.
And it's not really that top dog because they beat LA, which fucking Vegas beat LA. They won in a shootout against San Jose. San Jose's is in the same situation as us. They beat Seattle 4-1. Does that ring a bell as well? Vegas did the exact same thing. And then they smoked the Hawks, who were on the last game of a 5-game road trip to start the season. And then they went into a shootout versus, or not like an actual shootout, but a 6-4 win against Carolina. Like that's the only thing that sets them apart is they actually beat a team that I considered also be like one of the top teams in the league.
It's a cup contender. Yeah, Carolina's.
But like these are fucking fraudulent ass starts to the year for all three of these teams, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's so impressive. They're all like undefeated." No, it's not that. It's not that impressive. Like they're all really good teams, and they're playing bottom league teams to start the year. It's like it's not that impressive. It's frustrating.
Well, all right, let's talk about that. You're talking about it's impressive that these teams that are undefeated, but now let's talk about some teams that probably should be higher up in the standings. And I know one that we all picked as our favorite was the Edmonton Oilers. Is it time for them to hit the panic button yet? They just lost McDavid for a couple of weeks with an upper body injury. They did say he's not ruled out for the Heritage Classic yet, but it's going to be close. They're 1-3. They cannot score goals for some reason. They don't have a third period goal this year.
That's hilarious. It's Edmonton being Edmonton, but like here's the thing. They are going to make the playoffs. They'll be fine because McDavid's going to come back and they'll have plenty of the year left. And it's the same thing last year. Like I don't think they were in the playoffs to start the season. They weren't in the playoff picture. And they still ended up pulling themselves into the playoff picture and then almost winning the Pacific because the Pacific is kind of a joke. I think the Pacific's the weakest division.
Let's see, what's their schedule or who they played so far? They got blown out by Vancouver. They blew a lead against Vancouver the following, beat Minnesota, or not Minnesota, Nashville, then lost to the Flyers. Well, they're literally last Tuesday was Nashville. Today is Minnesota. I kind of looked at the line there. Flyers 4-1 just spanked them. And then you have OT loss against Winnipeg. It's like they have the same schedule as like these undefeated teams, teams that all should be beaten. And well, they're not doing it.
Yeah.
They're goaltending. Like you talk about Toronto, place where goalies go to die. But what about fucking Edmonton, man?
Yeah.
Like they just cannot find a goal. They cannot get that position right.
No, like they don't make smart choices when it comes to defense and goaltending. That's all that happens. They just go, we'll just outscore everybody. And then when the scoring's not working, then they're like, well, I guess we're fucked.
Any other surprises like of teams that you think are like, what the fuck's going on with them so far?
Let me check the standings again. It's so early in the year to like really kind of be
right. Yeah, I mean,
there's Jose, Anaheim, like Buffalo. I thought would have a better start, but like it's the opposite of what they typically do. So maybe they will make the playoffs this year.
Florida
on a 10-game heater instead of a 10-game like cold streak.
Yeah,
I didn't think Florida was going to be that great.
Really,
Tampa is struggling like I thought they would because missing Vasilevsky. I'm surprised that the top of this Atlantic Division looks the way it does with Boston, Detroit, Montreal, Ottawa. Like that's hilarious. Let's see. The Penguins I thought would be doing a little bit better, but
I don't know.
I don't know either. Minnesota could be doing better.
I think the Penguins are gonna be one of those teams where it's like if they're gonna do good, it's gonna be mid-season. They make their push and they get going. But I think it's too little, too late for that team. I think they're fucked up by double down on that core three, and saying this is the core three that's going to win another Stanley Cup. No, it's not. Sorry, Dubas.
Clip this, and then when they win the Stanley Cup, just called it. It's still like early enough in the season that like if a team just wins 4 games in a row, they're back in it.
Right. Yeah, it's early. It's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, it's overreaction season. Like that's all it is. And it's fun to overreact.
And
like
I was gonna say, and the good kind of overreacting, like Detroit.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, they figured it out. They bring in DeBrincat in. Also, the fact that they played hardball with DeBrincat, like didn't want to give him like the contract he was looking for. And just,
I don't think the contract he was looking for was what he was really looking for. I think he was putting that out there to get Otto to be like, all right, fine, we're moving you. And then Detroit probably could have put anything. They probably could have put league minimum in front of him, and he would have been like, yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
Well, he wanted like term, and he only got a 4-year deal.
Which I still think is a smart move for him.
I think he's gonna, if he can play the next 3 seasons like similar to the way he started this season and just kind of be close to a point per game, like getting 40 plus goals and just looking great with Larkin, he's gonna play himself into a nice contract.
I mean, it's amazing to see, like, he's in such a better space. He's playing where he wants to be. You can just tell that he did not want to be in Ottawa last year.
Yeah.
He's thrilled to be home. He's tearing it up. He leads the league in points. He leads the league in goals.
Yep.
Larkin is second in the league in points, leads the league in assists. Like, it's just as much.
The 2 hometown kids, man. That's exactly such a cool formula. It's such a cool formula.
As much as I want to like not like Detroit because I want the old rivalry to be back, it's like, how do you not get excited with that situation, with that storyline going? The hometown kids are the 2 leading the way and pushing this team into a playoff spot. I know it's early, it's overreaction, all that kind of stuff, but it's like,
how fucking
awesome is that? How cool is that? like. And then
I love it.
Yeah. And then it's like, I also want to like tell Ottawa fans, shut the fuck up. The ones that are booing him and bitching and complaining about, oh, he didn't want to be blah, kind of thing. Yeah, no shit, he didn't want to be there. Why do you have to like expect every single person that gets dealt to your team when they had no protection, no say in where they got dealt? Like, yeah, I'd be pissed too if I got traded somewhere I didn't want to be, especially in Canada, like good.
Yeah. I Detroit's on the Frozen Frenzy at the second. I thought they scored.
But it's like Ottawa fans, grow up. Like,
yeah. Like also, what a surprise an American kid doesn't want to stay with a Canadian team.
Like, Canada,
go talk to Calgary about that and see how they handled it.
You want these players to stay in Canada? Figure your shit out up there. Figure out your taxes. Figure out all your other stuff, because it's just like impossible for anybody to make legitimate money up there, especially when you're American.
It would make sense if like it was like a flexible cap that you would end up getting paid the same no matter where you went. Like you get to spend more in a specific like area because like of the taxes, because having the tax like be a part of contract negotiations is so unfair for certain teams.
100%. And that's what I was about to say. Like,
god damn, dude.
The one thing I would change, like if I could change one rule, like right now, it would be you either get rid of the tax. Like there's got to be some sort of like even playing field with the taxes. Like either contracts can't. I don't know how you would do it, or like what's the best way to word it, but it's like
post tax.
It's like bullshit that
like post tax is what like they count towards the cap,
right?
Because that would make sense.
Yeah, that's so dumb. But I really got nothing else.
I'm excited actually watching this Frozen Frenzy because it's just like all over the place.
Yeah,
it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Toronto just beat Washington 4-1. Washington's struggling, but Ovechkin got on the scoreboard. So Gretzky's back on. Let's go.
Right.
But yeah,
Washington's struggling. I don't know. excited to see who falls off soon, who picks it up. Like
we're end of October, November's coming. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. We'll know
honestly,
our playoff teams.
I think the thing that pisses me off the most is the 3 undefeated teams are like 3 of the teams I dislike. Like I don't like Vegas, I don't like Boston, and I don't really give a shit about Colorado. Like I don't want them to win.
Colorado's if I have to cheer for one of those teams, I'm cheering for Colorado. Boston, just fuck Boston. And Vegas. Do you hate Vegas as a team, or do you hate Vegas as a man, like as their owners and management?
As management, but also I don't really like their team.
After the Stone stuff in preseason, I'm kind of like, fuck those guys.
Yeah, I don't really care for them.
Oh, there's Bedard on the ice. Let's go.
They're becoming like insufferable.
You know what? They earned it. It's been a while. Like they paid their dues. Let's go. All right, episode 248. What do you want to call it? Frenzy.
The frenzy is on.
Frenzy's on. All right. Make sure to follow us on social media at WCB Podcast. Follow us on all your favorite podcast feeds, YouTube. Promo code THPN on DraftKings for some free money. And we'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you next time when the Hawks go 2-0. All right, love you, buddies. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.